into the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
When the lights go down and the sun comes up,
to another episode of The Ultimate Fighter, Season 21.
I am a warrior. I am a warrior. I am a warrior.
I'll just let you finish that out.
I'm done now.
Oh, I love it.
I haven't listened to the Eminem rap part of this. I didn't know there was that in the theme song.
I am Suri Serano. I can't believe we're at the end of the season and the last episode. Let me introduce to you my co-host. Next to me, Jared Gilkerson.
I'm back.
I know, you're back.
We got the gang back together.
Yeah, it feels good.
The whole group's together. Across the table, J-Tan.
Hello, what up?
Great singing voice.
Not bad, right?
That
Just
makes
like
me
the
happy.
other JT.
It makes me happy.
The other JT.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's
and
true.
next to you, Alexis Torres. Welcome.
Hey, everybody. What's
Yes. We're all pumped to talk about this last episode, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Strong, going out on a strong note here, too.
Very strong. I think probably the best episode of the season, maybe. We do have Black Zillion's Jason Jackson joining us late out in Florida tonight. Thanks.
Him and his hair.
With him and his hair.
The best hair ever is what he calls it. I did not call it that, but
Yeah,
It's up there.
unless you saw it on Tough Talk yesterday.
I didn't get to see it.
Dude is looking like he won the Players' Ball in Oakland in like '98.
Nice.
And then we will also get Sabah Hamasi after him.
Yeah.
So that will be fun to talk to these guys, get their take on this episode. I believe that we have Jason on the line. Are you there? Can you hear me?
Hello? Hello?
Hi,
Yeah.
welcome. Thank you so much for taking time. I know it's really late on the East Coast right now to talk to us about this final episode. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you guys?
All right, you ready, boy?
Really
Things are going, huh?
Yeah. So,
Well-
what's your, I mean, obviously you knew what happened, but the final episode aired tonight. I've seen you all over Twitter tonight. What's your take on how it finished out?
I felt like, Vicente pulled it off all the way. Hyder took a lot more damage, and Vicente was missing most of the strikes, I'll tell you. And it was a good fight all around. Could have went both ways, but I felt like strongly like Vicente pulled that decision off.
How did you score it? Do you remember? You watch it last night?
I scored 2-1. Definitely. Vicente, the second round, it could have went both ways, but, the third round was clearly, Vicente.
The third round was?
In the first round. The third and the third and the first.
Jason, what could Vicente have done a little better in your mind?
I think he could have cut the ring off a little bit more and put a little more pressure. He would have got the stoppage if he would have cut the ring off right and put a little more pressure. Would definitely break either.
What advice would you give him for if he's fighting, whoever he's fighting next?
Oh, he's fighting Michael Graves, someone that I have destroyed in my last fight. And Vicente, it's going to be a real good fight because both Vicente and Michael Graves are very tough. They're young and they're hungry, well-rounded. So, he just got to do what he do. Go in there and just be Vicente. That hungry, young, green kid that everybody thought couldn't fight on the show, and he will do well. He will destroy
How far
Graves.
How far out they got with that one planned? Is that Sunday, or is it for the finale, or later on down the road?
Yes, it's in the finale this Sunday.
Okay.
So, I'm looking forward for that fight.
Good joint.
Are you looking more forward to that fight or Hyder versus Kamaru?
Both fight is very important. So I'm looking forward to both fight. And definitely I want to see Kamaru shut all that talking down and show Hyder that he haven't met no one that really gonna take it to him, and that wrestling game that Coach gonna bring, Hyder's gonna respect that all the way, and you gonna respect the wrestling so much you won't even see the striking.
Jason, do you have any kind words about ATT or Hyder Hassan? I mean, I know back in 2013 he defeated you. You talked a little bit about that earlier this season on Tough Talk, but he has beaten a lot of fighters from the Blackzilian gym. So, what does he do well? What do you think he's really doing well against you guys?
Well, if that's the case, I beat a lot of guys from American Top Team as well. Nobody haven't spoke about that yet, but Hyde is a very confident kid, and with my defeat with him, I walked out that fight as the winner. Like clearly as you can see, Hyde always go to fight, and I give him credit. Kid always gonna shove the fight. But I just feel like I'm ready to fight him. I don't care what the outcome of him and Kamaru fight is. I'm just ready to fight him and show him that that I have evolved and I have grown as a person and as a fighter, and I'm ready to prove to the world that I could beat this guy flawless.
What do you got planned next? Now that it's all over, I mean, you can talk much more freely about everything. They telling you anything about schedule or figuring things out with Dan? What's next?
I haven't heard nothing from the UFC as in signing with them as in a fight deal or anything yet, but I'm just looking to fight whoever it is, whenever it is, whatever promotion it is. In August, I would love to step back inside the cage and go to work, because my injury is gone. My hand, I broke my hand in the fight. I have a plate and a screw in it right now, and that healed well, so I have nothing to complain about.
You gonna keep the plate and the screw in there? With I forgot about it. If the details, if we did talk about it at all, what's the is it in fingers or the main part of the hand?
No, I crushed my hand. Like my bone was crushed and everything. They had to use a plate and 6 screw to put the bones in back together and all. So the bone right and everything. So the doctor said if I want to remove it, I could remove it, but I'm just gonna keep it on so in case I don't break it again.
Then you can blame the metal, not your bones, right?
The metal. No, I don't want to break my bone again because I'm not sure how fully healed it was because the injury just happened.
Well, besides the injury, what else can you take away from this crazy experience that is the Ultimate Fighter?
Besides the injury?
Yes.
Like I just couldn't. Everything that transpired on the show, like the last day of the show, the Vicente and Hyder fight. I don't know if they aired it. I don't think they aired it on TV. But one of the weirdest moments I had goosebumps is when the fight. They actually said Hyder won the fight, but everybody that was there knew Vicente won the fight, and the American Top Team started to cheer. USA. It was like, wow. It was really kind of like shocking to me. I never been in a situation like that.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of crazy.
You think they were pulling the race card there, you mean, with that chant?
I don't know if it's a race card or what it is. But they made the show all seem like Black Zillion was going against American Top Team, like American, instead of just two local gym, just to see who was the baddest gym in South Florida. It just felt like it was, American Top Team versus the others. That's what I felt.
I just got goosebumps just thinking about that, actually.
That environment seemed insane.
It did.
That last fight. Was it elevated more than the rest of the fights in terms of energy and how loud it was in there?
Oh, yes. They cut a lot out. They cut a lot out the fight, especially the fight with me and Michael Grave. The fight with me and Michael Grave, when I beat on him for 2 minutes, and 2 minutes, he went back to his corner. He sat on a stool. He fell off the stool. They had to put what I think it's a restoration, that oxygen mask that you put over to get some oxygen. That was they didn't record none of that in the show, so they kind of covered up well.
So wait,
And,
they didn't
you know,
show any of that. I mean,
Oh, they have to
did.
cut things. They have to cut. You can't show everything.
You also don't want to show that on an
Well,
MMA show trying to put its best foot forward.
sure.
But it happens. It
Yeah,
happened.
yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It was there, and it happened for a reason.
Uh-huh.
And that's what make the whole situation, the moment, for you know what I'm saying, like crazy. Like, so every little bit that they cut out, that's a detail they cut out the whole show. So,
Wow.
you know,
Well,
but hey, not.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, so we didn't have much TV time as well. So
My question to you is, will you be in Vegas? How many of the Black Zillions team members will be there this weekend?
well, you know, I'm looking forward to go to Vegas this weekend. But from what I heard, you know, that the UFC wasn't flying out the cast, but they were just only flying out the coaches out there. So
I heard
right
that
now
too.
it's just a late minute thing that I didn't know about.
So will you not be there
So-
then?
What was that?
Are you not going to be in attendance, or you still haven't decided?
I'm still trying to arrange everything to come over there because it was more of a last minute thing. Like, you know, because I didn't know that. I thought it was going for sure.
Right. Gotcha.
So, you
Southwest
know,
had really
last
good deals,
night when
yeah.
I asked Glenn about, like,
Hey, yo, brethren, Southwest
Travis.
had really good deals earlier this week. I think it's still going on, man.
yeah,
Yeah. Virgin, too, but that was only 8 hours. I missed that
Oh,
window.
boy.
8 hours.
Well, I
Well,
hope,
yeah, Virgin America, but that's done now.
I
So
hope-
check out Southwest.
I hope that you make it out there to support your teammates. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. Jay, you're killing me.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy out there. It's gonna be a crazy week, man. Conor McGregor fighting, Chad Mendes. You got a lot of good stuff going on this week in Vegas. So,
Sure do.
you know, I would love to be there on top of my ears, screaming and acting the most obnoxious way when Kamara finished Hyder, which he will. You know, I'm gonna be there acting crazy. I'm gonna be acting a fool. So, you know,
As you should.
I would love to be there.
All right. Well, I just want to say, you know, congratulations on a great season. Thank you so much for always taking time to speak with us. We certainly all appreciate it very much.
Always fun to talk to you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate y'all taking the time to actually tune in and see how interested Jason Jackson is.
Absolutely. Heal up quickly, and good luck on your next fight, too.
Ass kicking machine.
Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, guys, for having me.
Thanks.
And, you know, anytime. It's always a pleasure.
Oh,
You know.
awesome.
Right back at you. Thank you so much, Jason. Have a good night. Get
All
some
right,
sleep.
You see, guys.
Nice.
Right.
That was
Well-
interesting. Well,
Get off your phone.
I'm actually
just kidding.
doing
Alright.
some stuff with the show. So
You know, the thing is,
fans are talking.
I'm saying, you know, if you can get a good deal on a ticket, that's a
I
tax
hear
write-off
that.
right there.
You
That's
know,
a
I
tax
feel so
write-off.
No, I did
Bad.
hear that the UFC is only, you know, bringing in the guys that are fighting, and then of course
Guys.
coaches, not the whole
Put
cast.
a little flight pool together and just like travel together.
I know.
Road trip.
Road trip.
Get on a bus.
It sounded like
Really far
he
road
had a
trip.
little bit of. I like that he was speaking the truth against the show and against, you know, them. You know, they're hiding more, I guess, editing more than I thought they would out. I mean, I wasn't
Really?
thinking that Graves would be on an oxygen machine and them thinking, oh, that's
Yeah.
fair. You'd think they would maybe edit out some other things, but that's a bit surprising.
We are going to welcome Mr. Sabah Hamasi. I know it's super late out there on the East Coast. Thank you for your patience, and it's nice to see your face. Welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Your hair is looking awesome.
I
by the
know,
way.
jeez. For what, 1:30 in the morning out there?
Hey, man.
My hair looks the same all the time, so
Well, I thought it was on point. That's all I'm saying.
It is. It's on
Literally,
fleek. It's on
there's a
fleek.
point at the very top.
Oh gosh,
It's like
Jay.
a curved pyramid there.
I knew he was going to do that. I knew it.
What? It is?
I had to do it. I
All
had to
right.
say something.
It's late. He's like, let's get this show on the road, guys. Well, we wanted to get your thoughts, of course, on this final episode and then this weekend. But what was your take on Hyder versus Vicente and in this final fight? What a fight and what an episode.
yeah, it was a great fight. You know, it was a fight of the season, if you ask me. I mean, you know, it is what it is. We got the W, and I mean, they can't even argue it because I totaled up, and along with a couple of my teammates, total strikes landed, and it was 3-1. You know, he landed way more strikes than Vicente, and yeah, I mean, we got the W. You know, those takedowns, he didn't do anything with them, didn't have control, and Hyder came right back up to his feet. So I don't see how the judges would even count those. You know.
Were you worried round one?
What's that?
Were you worried at all or concerned round one when Hyder looked like he got rocked a few times?
Not at all. I mean, he's been there, you know. And in the gym, we beat the piss out of each other, so it's nothing he's never, you know, experienced before. So, I mean, he gets hit hard and he's able to keep moving forward, so that's a good thing.
I had a quick question about. We just talked to Jason Jackson. He had some nice things to say about the show. And he was saying a lot was, you know, edited out, and that Graves in one episode was on oxygen and they didn't show that, and he was making it sound like some advantages were given to ATT in some episodes. What can you say about that?
I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Oxygen? Graves was on oxygen?
Yeah, that's what he told us.
After the match with him and JJ?
He said in the middle of it.
Was it the middle of the match?
He said in the middle of the match that he was on oxygen.
I missed that.
No, that didn't happen. Did he say the middle? No.
Match? Don't you think you guys would have seen it?
If there was oxygen involved between
think we
rounds,
would've saw
that
it.
match wouldn't have continued anyway.
I think they tried hooking it up after the fight, but he didn't need it. He took it off his face. Like, I don't want this shit.
Graves and Jason Jackson was a one-round fight anyway. I don't know why they would have. There wasn't another round to put it in between.
Right?
Well, he made it sound like it was some advantage, which was odd. If it's at the end of the fight, then you know who cares.
You know, I don't know if you guys watch Tough Talk or not. And you know, Jason Jackson, his name is the ass kicking machine. I told him to change it to the shit talking machine, and I really meant that. So
that's about right.
That's all he does, man. That's what his whole team does. Is they make excuses. You know, after every time they lose, just be prepared for a fucking excuse.
Yeah.
So.
Damn, shots fired.
Nice.
I have a question. I know that you know, there was that kitchen you know, little thing with Kamaru 2 weeks ago on the episode, and then you guys had to travel to and from LA last week to do Tough Talk together. What was that like? Do you guys get along? Is it or was it just on that show and just that moment?
No, I mean, we're civil if we see each other in person, but I think you know, when it all comes down to it, we want to fucking get in there and knock each other's heads off. Well, actually, I'd be doing the knocking his head off. He wouldn't be doing nothing but trying to hump my leg.
Oh my god.
Sounds like Jay Tan.
I would not hump his leg at all. Thank you very much. I promise. My dude, no, it would never happen. I will shake your hand, and that'll be about it.
Well, you know what I mean. He's gonna come in and try to wrestle me. He's not gonna want to strike with me. So, I mean, anyone who really comes in there with me and they try to strike with me, it always resorts to them coming to take me down. So,
if you had your druthers, if you were booking for yourself, either on the finale or one of the shows coming up, end of the summer or the fall, who else from the cast would you want to get in, or for that matter, anybody on the UFC roster? Who would you book yourself with?
Anyone that is willing to fight me. You know, I like to fight. I like to go in there and do the damn thing. So as long as we could put on a great show, and you know, that's who I want to fight. It's people that are going to fight me, not run away from me. You know.
Is there anybody in particular you've kind of had your eye on in the past couple of
on
shows?
The show?
Well, I was going to say even just the UFC main roster.
Well, you know what? George Sullivan, his opponent, pulled out for an injury on the finale this Sunday, and I tried getting that fight with George Sullivan. But unfortunately, that didn't happen. So it is what it is. That's out of my hands. But you know, I'm trying to get in there with whoever, whenever. So I'm willing to take fights on short notice, whatever the case might be. You know, just to get me in there. So.
Are you surprised that you're not in the finale on Sunday?
I am, man. You know, I'm a little disappointed. I wanted to fight. You know, get that shit taste out of my mouth after that last fight. So.
Who picked the Vicente Graves fight for Sunday?
I have no clue. Couldn't tell you. I think the UFC had something to do with it.
Interesting. I would have liked to see Sabah fight.
I completely agree.
Yeah, you know, I want to like Vicente, Jason Jackson, even a rematch with Banks or Marty or Philippe Portela. any one of their strikers or someone who's willing to fight, that's who I want to get matched up with. And that's on the finale, at least. That's what I want to be matched up with.
I would think that you're itching to get back in the ring. I mean, you guys take off time, to do the show, and these fights are important, but they're more or less kind of exhibitions. And you're coming off 3 wins in a row in your pro career. You were 5-4 at one point. Now you're 8-4. So what's your outlook now? I mean, you can finally talk openly about your future plans. So what do you hope to do next?
Right now I just I'm looking to stay busy, and whoever's willing to give me fights, that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to be snatching fights left and right. I'd like to stay busy, and my managers are working hard for me. So, we got something in the making right now for August. So hopefully that comes through. And after that, if I stay injury-free and ready to go, maybe end of September, beginning of October, sometime around there. I just want to consistently fight. So we'll see. I mean, I know I'll get my shot in the UFC. I'm not worried about that. But when the time comes, I want to make a lot of noise.
That I was just going to ask you if you think if there's talk right now about you getting your shot in the UFC. So that it's going to happen. It's just a matter of when?
Yeah, it's just a matter of time, Joe Silva already told my manager he appreciates me stepping up, because a lot of guys won't do that on a week's notice. My manager called me on Friday night last week, asked me if I can make 170 by Saturday. I was like, absolutely. And, that was for George Sullivan. He's like, all right, well, it's on the back. We don't know if it's going to happen, but, I'll keep you updated. So I was like, all right, cool. But it ended up not coming through. So that's what it is.
Well, I know that you're usually a very, hungry type of fighter. I've always wanted to know, especially from all the fighters, whether it's on Black Stallions or ATT, that after being in this experience, is this showing you to be more hungry outside of the show, or is it just kind of like, what have you learned, being in the competition and stuff like that?
The competition, it was a great experience, I wouldn't say it made me hungrier, because I'm always hungry. I'm always willing and ready to get in there and fight. Past couple fights, I had so many fallouts, like opponents dropping out left and right, and it came to a point where I was like, shit, I'm not going to even fight, because people were pulling out of fights, people weren't taking fights, and so that was my concern. I was like, damn it, no one's gonna take a fight with me, and it is what it is. But now, so hopefully this fight in August happens. Just waiting on contracts and stuff like that. So if it does, I'll be really happy, and hopefully after that fight, I'll get my shot in the UFC.
Well, best of luck to you, for sure.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
As a viewer, I don't know, as a viewer of the show, when they were picking the finale for the fight this weekend, how much time is in between since they've taped? Because, I mean, Hyder's face was a mess, and I just wanted to know how much time in between he has to heal up.
Well, I'm sure you guys know this is all pre-recorded.
Yeah.
So,
how much time has passed
how much time?
the rap, tough wrapped versus, this weekend is what he's asking.
Oh, it was a lot of time. It was we got out of the house February 27th.
Oh, wow, that's a long time ago. Wow.
Yeah, so he had plenty of time to recover. I mean, he's healthy and ready to go. Yeah, he's in great shape. He's golden.
What do they do? I mean, I knew there was an amount of time between the end of the taping and now, but February to now is a long time. How do they put you on the shelf? I mean, are they giving you anything to basically be frozen in your training and fighting? Because otherwise, you could fit possibly 2 fights in there still, I would think.
Yeah, we're not allowed to fight because what they want to do is obviously they want to make people think that the show is live and it's happening now. So they tell us that we signed shit saying that we can't fight until after the finale. Or if we're on the finale, obviously we fight on July 12th. But if we're not, then we can't fight until afterwards. So that's the whole deal with that.
So that's a voluntary freeze of your fight career, essentially. I mean, you get to train maybe corner guys possibly, and that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, I always stay training, so, but you can't fight. That's the only thing, just train. Which nothing's wrong with that because you can never stop learning in the sport.
What about what have you been doing in that time, all these months? I mean, is there one thing in particular or another that you've been focusing on in terms of training, your game, or doing things otherwise, even away from MMA?
Nothing really away from MMA because it's my life, so everything I do is kind of based around it. But I just gave my body some time to heal up a little bit, you know, because that's very important. Because that's what, you know, keeps me going. It's like a machine. You gotta tune it, you know. So I took a little break, let my body heal up, and then I got right back into it. I was actually training like I was fighting on July 12th. I was just preparing myself. I was hoping that they would slap me on the card. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. But, you know, it is what it is. I worked on a lot of things, just technique-wise, and, you know, just regular shit for a fight camp.
These guys have known that they've been fighting, you know, Kamaru and Hyder, that they were going to face each other for months now. So has Hyder been focusing on specific things like wrestling, perhaps, in the gym?
Absolutely. You know, we train all aspects of the game. It's not just one thing. So it's everything. He's been working on everything, you know, like any MMA fighter should, you know.
Are you... sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to ask you if you're going to be in Vegas this weekend.
Absolutely.
How many of your teammates are going to be there?
A lot. A lot of my teammates are going to be there.
Nice. And predictions? I mean, I know you're probably going to pick both your ATT guys, but what do you think?
Yeah, we got more than 2 guys. We got Brad Pickett, Robbie Lawler, George Masvidal, obviously Hyder, Mike Graves. I think that's it.
I meant 2 guys from the show. That's all.
Oh, 2 guys from the show, yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously I'm going with my guys. You know, Graves, he's, you know, being in that house isn't the same. You know, when you're training for a fight in that house, it's completely different. It's like 6 weeks, you're locked in a house. You can only go from the house to the gym for training, and then you're right back to the house. So it's like really different. You know, you don't get to train with the team. It's not like, you guys understand what I'm saying? It's not like regular fight camp where you have your regular schedule, you do shit on your own time, stuff like that. So Mike Graves will actually, he'll shine bright when he fights Vicente. And Hyder, man, he's the man. He's ready to go, and I think he's going to knock out Usman. So
you think he's going to knock him out?
I think so.
Really?
So.
Wow.
He's going to,
Which
for sure.
round?
Yeah, that's definitely going to happen. And I'm actually willing to bet. I'm going to be in Vegas, so I'm willing to put money on that.
You're going to put money on it?
Oh, hell yeah.
Suri will bet you.
I mean,
yeah, I'll bet
Suri
you.
will bet you.
I'll bet you.
It'll be a dare.
Jay, what round do you think he's going to knock him out in?
I'm going to say the 3rd.
Wow.
All right.
I don't...
What are some of Kamaru's weaknesses that you would attack?
His weaknesses?
Yeah.
I think if you put the pressure on him, he'll break. You come forward. You know, he's used to guys backing away from him. He sets the pace. But if you reverse the roles and you put the pressure on him and put him on his heels, he's going to panic. And I think 2 rounds in, you'll notice him starting to break, you know. So first round, he might be on his toes a little bit. Probably like after midway through the second, you'll see him start to fade, and he'll come down, you know. I think, and that's why I'm picking the 3rd round for KO for Hyder.
Gosh, I'm so pumped for these fights.
I know,
I
right?
can't wait.
I'm looking at the fight card here. We printed it out from the UFC press portal, and I see they've already got, you know, red corner, blue corner assigned. I don't know if you know this, but they've got George in red corner, and I'm assuming that means Hyder in red corner as well. That's got to be a good omen. Do you guys do you fall for that? Do you take to that superstition? Red corner typically walks out second, don't they?
You know what? I used to. It used to like bother me if I walked out first or second, if I was in the red corner, blue corner. But now I can give 2 shits. I honestly don't really care.
Good for you.
It doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, I'm going in there. I'm going to get my job, you know, do my job and walk out with my hand raised.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's all I really care about. It's like in the beginning of my career, I didn't even like my friends and family being at my fights. I still wanted them there, but I didn't like them to be there. But now I just want the more people watching, the better I'll perform. So.
Sure.
So you don't mind everybody being there and the distraction of that, or you're
No,
able to
absolutely
tune
not.
out?
I take that in. That feeds me. If you're booing me or if you're there to support me, that you're just fueling me, you know, adding fuel to the fire.
Nice.
There's one question I've been wondering, and I'm surprised that I haven't heard anybody else mention this in interviews with you throughout the season. I'm curious. You're rocking a hoodie right now, it looks like, but you've got. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want to say it's Sanskrit, but I could be. Maybe I've got the wrong text. But the tattoos on your shoulders.
Yeah, it's Arabic.
It's Arabic. Okay. What's the translation for that? What is it?
It's my mother and father's name.
Oh, okay.
So cool.
Nice. All right. Surname or their full name?
No, not their
Middle
full name. Just
initial?
first names. My dad's name is Hassan, and my mom's name is Nede. So
Got
they've
it.
done a lot for me, and just to show them a little appreciation, I put their names on my body.
Sure, I get that.
I love that. Nice eyes, Jay.
Nobody else has
Jay's
asked
got-
that. That's a fair one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're comparing tattoos. Do you have any tattoos, Jay?
Oh my gosh.
He's got
private
one. He's got
place.
one like right above his back.
Sabah, who are you taking, McGregor or?
I got Mendes.
Really?
What do you think? What do you think is the difference
Mendes
maker?
gonna wipe the mat clean with fucking McGregor.
You don't like
How do
him?
you really feel?
No, I mean, he sells himself. He does a great job selling himself, but I don't think he's been tested. I think he hasn't really fought anyone like Mendes or Aldo. And Aldo would have done the same thing. I think Aldo would have beat his ass. But well,
Do you just not like him and you
let's
just want to see him
rephrase
get
this.
beat?
We're gonna find out how good McGregor is when he fights Aldo or when he fights Mendes. This weekend we'll find out. So we'll see how good he is. But I got Mendes taking him down and beating him up.
You think the ground is the difference?
Absolutely. Well,
Yeah.
he's never fought a high caliber wrestler like Mendes, and
Yeah.
he's a beast, man. He's super strong. He's explosive. I mean, how can you not go with Mendes? What kind of who has McGregor fought that comes close with a wrestling background as Mendes?
Nobody with a wrestling background, but I'm leaning a bit towards McGregor here. I get the argument about Mendes having the ground game and being able to take him down. That said, though, McGregor's reach is exponentially more than what Mendes has faced in the past. And in looking back, I think Aldo was one of the longer guys that Mendes has faced. And the second match, the more recent one, we didn't see him really making much headway in getting Aldo to the ground. Any other match recently in the past couple of years with Mendes, he's just plowed through his guys, So I kind of wonder if he'll be able to breach that distance and get McGregor down.
Yeah, you're right. He does. McGregor does fight very long. He does a good job doing that. So if Mendes can just slip punches, work to get on the inside, and if he grabs a hold of him, then I think he'll be able to take him down. I mean, hey, listen, these are just my predictions. I'm just I'm obviously going with Mendes because he's just a way better wrestler and he hasn't fought anyone like him. But I guess we'll find out how good McGregor is.
Well, you've definitely done a lot more time in the cage than I have, to be fair. But I think you're right. If Mendes can get in the pocket there, then it's definitely going to the ground.
Yeah, I mean, hey, McGregor could definitely knock him out. So that's he can knock out anybody. He just has to land those punches.
It's gonna be crazy. It's such a mixed bag. I mean, everybody
I'm so
across the board at
excited.
Fox, everywhere, they're very either pro Mendes or pro. I mean, like hardcore. Like there's no wishy washy.
That's not
It's
true.
either. That's what I've been hearing.
Well,
everywhere.
I mean,
I'm a bit
I'm
wishy-washy.
I was like,
Are you?
I'm in the middle for sure.
I think
it can go either way.
Yeah, the key now especially is I think it's become more, are you pro McGregor or anti McGregor? With Aldo, at least there was certainly, I mean, plenty of people know Mendes, hardcore fans, but there's been a longer build-up, obviously, with Aldo, and you got to pick a side, and there was enough to kind of rally behind Aldo. Mendes is a bit of a difference. How would you, Sabah? I'm kind of curious if you were in this scenario, you had to deal with a last-minute replacement at this caliber of a fight. How do you deal with something like that? Does it, if you're in McGregor's shoes, does it affect your mentality and game plan much, or you just try and stay the course?
I don't think it should affect him because I mean, yeah, it's you go from fighting a striker to a wrestler, but I don't think it should. McGregor's so mentally strong. don't think it matters who goes in there with him. He's mentally prepared, and that's what really matters. You know, I think he'll do well. It's not going to be an easy fight for Mendes, but you know, it's just I guess we're going to have to wait and see. You know, about the whole anti-McGregor, or either you're with him or you're against him. I'm not with him or against him. I think he's a great fighter. We just got to see how good he is, and I think the fight with Aldo, we were going to find out how good he is, you know. So, but the UFC does a great job of hyping him up. So a lot of people either hate him because of the way he talks, you know, like he talks so much shit, or they love him, you know, and that's I don't know, it's part of the game. Every fighter has people that either they love you or they hate you.
Like you, my man.
Definitely has a lot of those.
Right?
Aw, really? Do people?
Absolutely.
Well, either if they boo him or they're cheering him, he's happy about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As long as
It
they're
doesn't
talking,
matter.
right?
Hey, if they're booing you, that's great.
It's even
If they're
better.
cheering for you, that's awesome too.
Chael Sonnen says that all the time.
Yeah, it's like
All the
if
time.
you have haters, you must be doing something right.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, because if they hate you, guess what? They're going to be watching you.
Yep.
So,
That's right.
Yeah. Does anybody else have anything left?
No.
No, man.
Hey, I know it's super late out there. Thank you so much for taking time to hang with us for a few minutes tonight. And it's nice to hear that you had a good time on the season overall, that, you know, you probably would do it again if you had to.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Definitely.
Best of luck to you in your upcoming fights.
Keep us
Thank you very
posted about
much.
August, man.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Have fun
Later.
in Vegas.
All right.
Thank
For
you.
sure. All right. Bye.
Nice.
Yeah.
Exclusives tonight. Kind of
Right.
different interviews there.
Very.
Yeah, completely.
Some bitterness and some, you know,
Such a
both
straight
straightforward.
Well, yeah.
But man, Jason Jackson, that guy's full of excuses.
Whoa!
I don't care.
He's playing the role.
But you know what I found?
He's playing
I
the
understand
role.
he's playing the role, but there's a difference, like from being like we're just talking about, like a Conor McGregor type, where there's an art form to it, like that Floyd Mayweather kind of. There's an art form to getting people to hate you, but you have to be uber successful on one end, and that's just not gonna. It hasn't happened for Jason yet.
But
Some guys are ahead of it, and some guys are better at it than others.
I think there's a
Clearly.
difference between saying it like it was, like it happened,
Yeah.
and then kind of
like nitpicking kind
seeing it. You know how someone can see it a completely different way,
Yeah, you're true.
but distort it a bit.
Yeah.
There's a bit that's gone on the season.
But I like what our two awesome people in the chat have said. Maria and Joseph Boza, which we know he's always there. Maria said, I am with American Top Teen since day one, but I feel like Vicente was robbed. He left Hyder beat up. That's what she said. And then Joseph Boza says, I am also pro ATT, but I also agree Vicente got robbed.
Do you guys want to break it down? We've got some time to.
Yeah, we do
Yeah.
have
Yeah,
time.
we totally
We
do.
do have time.
So we can start with round one. What did you guys think?
I was a little confused because who'd you give the round to?
Confused by
No,
round one?
no. I meant like who did you guys give the round to? Because I was kind of giving the round to Vicente on that one.
I
Oh, yeah.
totally gave it to Vicente.
I scored
on
it
one.
even.
Really?
Yeah, I like to avoid even rounds.
You do that in boxing, don't you? That's a boxing thing completely.
You can't score an even round.
Get out of here.
Is
Get
it
out
not
of
possible?
here. Get in the
Be-
bedroom.
Is it not in the,
Be
is it not in the rule
nice.
book, or can you?
No, you can.
Okay. Well,
So
I
mean.
just
Encouraged
thought,
not to.
I just thought Hyder,
encouraged not to.
he was, and it's weird. He's the much smaller fighter. They said they're both 5'10", which I don't believe in a second. I
No,
don't
Vicente
understand
looked
that.
way
They said they're both
taller.
5'10" in the pre-fight, so that
I
was
could be wrong.
ridiculous. He's got 4-inch reach, but he's the one getting popped with jabs. Vicente has terrible movement. He should be able to get out of the way of Hyder's jabs. They're not that quick.
Yeah, that's
And
true.
so Hyder was controlling the round with that jab, but Vicente had a nice takedown, better kicks, but he had a problem with he was not attacking. He was waiting to counter,
Yeah, he was
and
a
it wasn't
defensive
quite
fighter.
working. But I thought I couldn't lean either way because Hyder was consistent. But then Vicente would land a power shot.
The
So
one
I couldn't
thing
do it.
that shocked me most is how heavy-handed they are because they were making injuries so quickly, markings all over the face. I was sitting there going, how many minutes have we been fighting right now? Because I feel like everyone's bleeding at this point.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I was very impressed by that. I was very impressed by Vicente's kicks. That was the one thing. I mean, I know Hyder's not like that, but I like that Vicente kept that up. And eventually, near, like, round 2 and 3, he was kind of slowing down, but I like that he tried to keep that up because he knew it was working.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was... Yeah. The first round to me was Vicente all the way. Yeah. I ended up giving Hyder the second and third, but the first round, Vicente, I thought, they both started aggressive. They were throwing 1-2 punch combos, and like you said, it was very much quantity versus quality. It was Hyder's jab, which was working well. I thought it worked a lot better in the later rounds, but it was all right. It was good here. Vicente, though, he landed a right.
He did.
Knee, body kick, knee to the body. I'm sorry, knee and body. Yeah, kick to the body, left. It was an overhand and an uppercut that was landing a lot. That uppercut was working for him a lot because of that, and also the takedown. I mean, the striking, you could probably go either way, but it was power punches to the jab, and the jab was not. It didn't knock him down. Didn't knock down Vicente. So I ended up giving it to Vicente. Second round was really hard to score.
I had a really hard time with the second round. I was also going to give it to Vicente for his blocks a lot too. There was a lot of times, even though Hyder was doing really well with his jabbing, every time he tried to come around, he always had his hand up like instantly, which I love, because sometimes they usually do get hit somewhere around this area. Usually, not professionally, but just I've noticed that with certain ticks, like especially when you have a kicker. They like to drop their hands a lot. Yeah. So I was very proud of them.
Slower round for sure.
Hyder looked tired, didn't he?
They both cruised the first half of that second round. Like, they were just both cruising. And there was no definite... But I gave it to Hyder.
Yeah, it was hard for me.
Vicente was sleeping.
He stepped off the gas a little bit,
I don't understand. It was frustrating me.
I think
because Vicente's tall.
Power.
He's longer. He's rangier. And he decided to fight almost a phone booth, not quite, but for a UFC, a phone booth type fight.
Yeah.
He was. If you're getting popped with jabs from a smaller guy who's not that quick, that's an issue. It was frustrating watching it because his head was just sitting there.
I know.
And he was waiting to counter, but he couldn't counter as clean as I thought.
I just feel like, especially even in round 3, I felt like he always had a plan, but he couldn't finish.
Yeah.
That's just what I felt about that.
He needed more takedowns for sure.
He would start and then he kind of just sat there.
Talking about Hyder?
No, I'm talking about Vicente.
He had the opportunities.
He had so many opportunities.
Hyder's wide open. He has some of the loopiest shots I've ever seen in my life.
It was weird.
I think Vicente thought that I think he won the first round.
So he just thought he was like in the clear.
I think he took his foot off the gas a little bit in the second. In the third, I mean, you did see him come alive. He had a cage clinch towards the last 20 seconds. I think he was trying to steal the rounds, the second and third.
Yeah, but also that's what drives me insane is that you're going to put all of your energy into the first round.
Right.
And then as soon as you let your foot off the gas, the car is going to spin out of control either way. You need to just learn to control that better. It was really frustrating for me to watch this fight.
I'm with you.
So then were you guys even... it doesn't sound like anybody should be surprised on who won.
No.
Based on what you guys are saying.
No. I wasn't surprised. I was sitting there going, Hyder's definitely going to win this fight. And sadly enough, I feel bad because I was really hoping it wasn't really a landslide. For me, it was kind of like, oh man, this round 1 is really good. I don't know who's going to win. Oh, wow, we got slow real quick. Oh, Vicente's effing up. All right, well, Hyder's going to take it.
Third round picked up. You didn't like it?
It did. No, it did. But after looking at it really well, I can already tell who was going to win right off the bat.
In round 2.
In round 3.
Round 3.
Yeah. Because at that point
you shouldn't be able to figure it out by the end of the match.
Well, no, some people. I mean, obviously, but at that point, I was hoping that Vicente would he did a little bit. He had a little bit of a jump start there, but I don't know what's with these car punch.
Cruised.
But
he just cruised too much, and his game. He wasn't beating him with the strikes as I think he thought he was because he saw his face marked up, and who was it in our chat that was saying that Hassan was marked up?
Oh, Maria.
Maria, and that's not always a tale. Some people just get marked up. Some people bleed.
Yeah.
But that's probably what he was thinking looking at it.
Yeah, he was making. His
advantage was trying to take him down because they're both sucking wind. But I mean, go for the takedown not with 30 seconds left because Hyder's looking for that. Yeah. But in the middle of the round, about 2 minutes left, perfect time, set him up, but he just didn't even really try.
It was tough. He was just they were just heavy breathing. It was rough for them for the last one. But the last 30 seconds, I was like, yeah, Hyder totally just stole this underneath him, to be honest.
Yep.
So I felt bad.
Best fight of the season, though, don't you think?
I completely agree with you. I thought it was so good. So good.
And it's just amazing how everything ends on such a storybook note. And that's what just
Amazing,
baffles
huh?
me about reality
Amazing.
TV. That
Oh, so you think there's some people dropping
Jay's
fights?
been
I
wondering.
don't know. I mean, we've talked about this a little bit offline, but yeah, no, dropping fights, no. To answer
Okay,
that question,
all right.
no. But I think there is room for editors and reality show producers to play with the sequence of events, and that's what I'm not.
He's talking about the sequence of fights.
Yeah, the fights. I don't think that. I never got an answer if any of us ever asked this question about them going in sequence. But that's what fascinates me is, what if it didn't end up? If this was if this whole thing was a shoot and it went straight through like this week after week, or what was it, 3 days or so? Every 3 days they fought or so, and it just happened to work out like this. Dana White's got a lucky rabbit's foot in his pocket, you know?
Joseph Boza said Dan is saying that his team does suck without Hyder. Every time he is he is desperate,
Yeah.
who does he go to? Hyder. I wasn't surprised he went to Hyder for the 300K fight. I wanted Nate. That's what he said. He wanted Coy to do it. I wouldn't mind seeing him do it, but I understand
I think
why
Hyder
they
is
picked
the
Hyder.
one.
He's just the one. He's
I
the
do.
chosen
As a
one.
fan, I like Nate when he's in there because he's a little older, he's a little slower, and he gets popped a lot. So as a viewer,
Are you trying to win the fight, dude? What are you talking about?
No, as a viewer.
Oh, okay.
Sacrifice.
He was like, here you go.
No, as a viewer, I love when Nate's in there because it's just he gets
Start the
Because
fire
it's a sloppy
now.
dog fight.
every fight he was in he was getting popped because he's just not as quick anymore. So I like to see him get it.
yeah.
But then Hyder, he gets hit too, but not as
He
much.
must be a
as in the
Rocky
first
Balboa
fight.
fan.
Nate, that's at Gilkerson Radio.
Yeah.
Just a reminder, Nate. Go
You
for
can
it.
hit him up.
I like Nate, and no one talks about Nate. Nate, best haircut in the show. Everyone talks about Jason Jackson and all this BS. Nate Coy,
he just
got
pulled that
got
out.
the thing going.
Little ponytail.
Alex doesn't like it.
I like it. I love
He
it.
definitely
we
won
like
after.
Nate, though. We've talked to him.
Yeah, after Jason's hair yesterday on Tough Talk.
But okay, so overall thoughts of the season, guys.
Yeah.
Around the table. What are we thinking? What do you guys think?
It definitely got. It started off
I felt like it started slow a little bit, yeah?
slow, and then Dana. Now you got me thinking about the sequence.
There you go, buddy.
But Dana, frustrated, and I mean, it had a steady build of just more exciting fights. The last month
Yeah.
was great. The last month was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, how many? This went to the scorecards tonight, but what was it? The 3 fights before, none of them did. I think it was 3 fights in a row that they didn't go. I know the 2 ATT wins in a row they didn't, but it was great. So overall, reality moments. Jim versus Jim.
What do you think about the sponsorship?
Sponsorship
Brought
was
to you
through
by
the
Harley
roof. It was
Davidson.
amazing. I'm on NOS right now. And the energy is through the roof. So it was great. But you don't need Jim versus Jim. Just throw in the fighters,
Yeah,
and that'll take
I
care
agree.
of itself.
I completely agree. I miss it.
I think they missed the boat on a lot of stuff. I think Jim versus Jim is interesting. Florida is one of the rare places that you can do that. I suppose you could move a gym to another city and create like a temporary gym. But the concept itself was fun. But they missed the boat completely in just throwing it into the same Ultimate Fighter formula. You go outside of the city. What's intrinsic about this feud compared to any other team versus team thing? It's that it's in this city. So engage the city. Go out. Let the guys go out for a night of a health food dinner or something, or talk about.
That sounds exciting.
Well, you're in training. You got to fight in 2 days.
I know.
You're right. I'm trying to temper it.
I know.
I suppose you could do beer as well. But
Well, no.
We could get some
Graves
Bud
is
Lights.
arrested. He's not going to show up at weigh-ins. You don't want that
Yeah,
storyline,
but
right?
Glenn did
awesome.
bring his group out and invited
Right.
the
He
wives
did.
and the children
He did.
into a restaurant. And
Yeah, and that would have
That
been
was
nice.
a crazy reality moment.
You could
It was
you could
sweet,
do
though.
that.
That was heartfelt.
You could do that
know.
I wasn't
practically
talking about crazy.
for one whole episode.
Yeah.
You watch ATT go to that, and you engage and you interview the wives and the girlfriends and the brothers and stuff like that. Why not? Because that is going to build your characters. I do know. Trust me. I was about to say I've produced so many reality TV shows that no, I haven't.
I don't know if I hear where you're going with that. I
Yeah.
don't think I would do the wives and girlfriends and all that kind of
But
jazz. It's a little.
There's a regional history. You could bring in people that train at ATT or the Black Zillion gym that are not fighters. Just interview them, talk about the history, talk about other shows where there have been ATT versus Black Zillion fights, be it amateur.
They don't have enough time for that. This is like
They
That
got
would be like
13 weeks.
documentary style.
They got 13 weeks. They should have thrown out the stuff with the house and the guy getting drunk and then an argument and beefing in the kitchen and all that stuff.
Who took the chicken?
Who took the chicken or the wine? Or BB Monster's Porto wine?
I'm so done.
What did you think?
No, I definitely thought the start of it was kind of slow for me. I was kind of like, oh, come on, I don't really care about the reality crap. I just want to see people get bloody. But at the same time, I actually can admire the build-up because I think this last fight really just took it all for me. So that's just, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. But I do kind of miss the old way of the Ultimate Fighter where it's just competition the whole way through.
Guy versus guy.
Yeah. Or girl versus girl. Or both. Whatever.
I have a lot of positive things. I mean, I've obviously watched other seasons. I didn't mind the team versus team. I thought it was a different, thing. I agree with you that the last month.
There it is. We finally did it.
Yeah, we did. The last month of fights have been awesome for me, to watch. I hope you guys agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree. I definitely think that, it's a shame that we didn't see more personal footage that got cut, like Kamaru and Carrington rapping in the van every day to and from practice, all the fun stuff, to really get to know it's an opportunity to get to know these fighters, and then you get invested in them. You care about them more when you know who they are. Yeah. So that for me, I would have liked to have seen a lot more.
There's too much of this. There's too much of, I'm ready to go. The teammates' hearts are around me, and all the teammates, the hearts are inside me. I'm ready to beat ass.
Doesn't matter who I fight. I don't care. I'm ready to go to grandma.
There was a lot.
Too much.
30 minutes of build-up of the same thing for the fight.
That's what I felt like for this episode. I was kind of like, I feel like we could have cut a majority of this build-up because I felt like it was just repetitive for like a good 10 minutes. I was like, we get it. They're going to fight. Shut up.
I was born ready for this, and I can't believe I'm here with teammates to fight my life.
Bringing it back to my gym.
I'm going to bring it, I'll fight my beat his ass.
I'm better standing on,
no. But this
I
is
love how you have to put your chin up.
You have to,
so far back.
I should do it too.
I think I'm the man. I think I'm the right one to pick the coach.
He's not even looking at the camera. He's looking up, like he looks like he forgot something.
Dana
like
White.
He's like,
Still can't pronounce my name. Or the referee, or Dana White. You could sit down and do the interview again, Dana. Like just one more interview.
But I will say, Dan Lambert couldn't get Kamaru's name right.
Nobody
can get
Kamaru.
Kamaru. I was like, what is he saying? Camry? But it's like putting a roo in there, like kangaroo,
Kamaru.
but Kamaru.
Couldn't they redo the ending with the ref, like the dramatic moment? Winner, hasten. And I thought some other guy was gonna come up from me, like yes, like some other dude was there the whole time.
Easily. So weird.
Hasten. I didn't know who he was talking about.
At first, I was like, wait, who fought?
Yeah.
Was it somebody else?
Hasten.
Was
I thought
it
it was
who
like a new decision. I thought it was like a draw, the way you said draw.
It was really weird. I thought it was going to say draw. I was like,
yeah.
Wait, so was it that? But no, I completely agree. Every time when Dana talks, I'm just like, you don't know the names of these fighters.
I love Dana, though.
So, I come on, but I'm like, come on, buddy. Just put a little effort.
He did say it a couple times right.
Not in this episode.
Not
he said
this episode.
no. It was bad. I was
but
like,
almost
come
nobody
on, guys.
ever got it right.
Yeah, it's
Hater.
I was like, hater, and I was like, who's that?
Were you guys surprised?
Maybe he's a hider hater.
Hater.
Spin-off reality series.
But I do think this was the fight that we all kind of I don't know. That's what I would hear on Twitter and stuff. Hyder versus Kamaru is the fight that people wanted.
I wanted so bad.
I did.
Oh, and speaking of, by the way,
yes,
big disappointment, guys. What are you doing? You add a new rule. 2 new fighters per team, potential of 4 guys.
Oh.
We get like one line of dialogue a month ago, and then nothing. Why bother bringing them into the show? What are you talking about? They were the fresh guys. You put them in this show. This was the time they were supposed to fight.
No, I disagree, Jay, because remember we discussed this last week. I know, thank you. But I disagree because last week you have to have you have to have fought twice before the finale. You can't just put somebody new in.
I was gonna say, wasn't there a rule?
It's a rule. Yeah.
It sucks for them. I feel bad.
You wouldn't like to have seen
I would have thrown that rule out. Clearly, the rule about two new guys per team, that was completely irrelevant and pointless.
They could have been.
I think he's the right guy for the team.
Oh my God.
The new guy.
He's fought twice for us.
You bring in a new guy, new blood for the team. It's going to give energy to the team.
You know what? Frankly, yeah. That's the.
But if you're the coaches and you know that Hyder is better than your new boy.
No, if you're the coach, you've got, let's say, 6 weeks. These guys have fought. Hyder's fought twice already. Come on. And granted, the first one was a massacre. He probably came out fine, no problem.
Yeah.
But still, the guys are dinged up. You don't fight in 6 weeks. You fight, right? You don't fight twice, let alone 3 times. That's bad news.
It's extreme.
Yeah.
That's pretty risky.
Too extreme. Too extreme. These guys are pros at the UFC
like a
level. Come
wrestler.
on.
Well, speaking of team energy, did anybody notice? Maybe this is me being nitpicky, but did anybody notice that the Black Zillions in like round 2 they weren't as loud, team wise?
What do you mean?
I didn't see that.
I couldn't tell
No?
who was yelling.
I know. Well, I guess because I had the subtitles on.
They
but
were
I mostly
yelling.
Yeah.
no, like I knew, but I feel like ATT was just louder than
They probably
everybody
had
else.
a more contingent, like probably
Maybe.
more
I mean, I was just,
family,
again,
friends.
this is me just being like super freaking
Yeah.
nitpicky, but I noticed at one point when they were fighting, when it cut to ATT, they were literally losing their damn minds. And then like if you look at the Black Zealands, they were kind of just like
Literally.
yeah, and like like at one point they were kind of just like looking straight at Vicente and kind of just trying to get to him.
That was kind of
specifically. It was
ATT
weird.
style. After
Yeah.
watching, they had the drums and all kinds of activity, and the Black Zillions. Every time I saw, you saw the guys in the corner, they were just kind of studying, and
Yeah.
Glenn's yelling some stuff like
Glenn's
"Gow,
always yelling.
gow."
Gow.
but they're kind of and I like the differences in the teams.
Well, that's what I wanted to
and how they
ask you about because I felt weird about it. She's laughing because you were so great.
No, I am laughing at that, but I have to totally go off subject. Did you see the episode last week?
Yeah.
I
mean,
just have to
yes.
ask him because he's
Which-
talking making
Oh,
fun
the
of
coach's
Oh
challenge.
yeah,
Did
the
you
coach's
see Glenn
challenge.
run?
Yeah, the
Yes.
running.
Yes.
Yeah, what that was a highlight in the show.
Yeah.
I think.
I
the
just
running.
no,
I just wanted to know what you were thinking.
I know. I just want. That's why because he
Like,
was
when
just
they were
doing
running.
Such a good.
That was kind of like that was my finally moment. Like finally, like we're gonna see
And then?
this thing. But there's so much more potential there with Glenn doing any kind of athletic like stuff, and I wanted to see more. So I guess I was a little unfulfilled.
Yeah, that's what I was telling these guys. I
Yeah.
wanted to do like an obstacle course. Or
Yeah,
something.
we had other ideas.
Yeah.
I just had to ask because you were just
He was
doing
the
a
best
Glenn
yeller,
impression. It
though.
was so funny.
He was the best like yeller and then when we have the subtitles on when we're watching it together and it's like they pop up, it's that I get a kick out of trying to think who's typing this and who's deciding what to say, and it's just go. I don't even think it wasn't even go. It wasn't even go. It was like just like a noise. He was like ah.
Having a hernia. Or
I
something.
hate Dan's fake teeth. Sorry.
Okay.
Jeez.
Predictions for the
Oh.
tough finale fights this coming Sunday.
No, I don't even know.
And now,
So we've got
your AFTERBUZZ
you know,
TV.
Vicente Luque versus Michael Graves and Kamaru versus Hyder.
Nice.
Alexis.
I'm gonna pick Kamaru, and I don't know because I don't really know these two very well.
Vicente and Michael Graves. We've seen them.
Masvidal.
No. I
Times.
was looking at these
no.
guys. I'm sorry.
Masvidal and Cesar Matanch.
I would like to see. I would like to see Graves do better.
Okay.
You know, why not?
Jay.
Masvidal over Cesar Matanch.
She's asking something totally different.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm running down. No, that's a ATT versus
He's
Black
ordering
Zillions.
dinner.
I know.
Yeah.
Another
Well,
one.
I would like to see him too. I agree with you. Yeah.
Jake Ellenberger and Stephen Wonderboy Thompson is interesting. In
Yep.
A terrible nickname.
Wonderboy?
Wonder
I like
Boy?
it. Is
Everybody
he
I
young?
hear-
Like
Wonder
bread
Boy.
or something.
Everybody I talked to here, take it.
I
Sure.
Oh,
and
stop.
intentionally 3 times in a row, and the referee is just going to have to call it.
You're not playing
Also,
fun.
Sari in the
Quickly.
chat.
Yes.
Hendro Chandra said, "What a fight!" And also, "Hi, Sari." That's all.
Aw.
Hi.
I
Who's that
just-
from?
It's someone in the live chat. Just
I'll
wanted to
wait.
say
Oh,
hi.
hi. Hi.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for
I'm
saying
sorry.
hi.
Go ahead.
Thanks for joining us.
Quickly, I'll go Graves and Kamaru. I Vicente worries me with his a little complacent in that fight, and I gotta go Graves. He's an Ohio boy, so I gotta go there.
Nice.
And then Kamaru, I think he's.
I just think he's awesome.
I like his wrestle. He will take
Hyder.
Hyder down.
Really think so?
Yes.
I love how passionate he is about
He
it.
will take him down. I'm convinced he'll take him down because Hyder
Me too.
has so many weaknesses. I can see.
Well, yeah.
Looping punches. He doesn't even try for the ground game. He's kind
'cause
of
he knows he can't do it.
one-track fighter, and I think that if he fights anyone with a little extra game, he's
Yeah,
done.
he's done.
Yeah, but that was also
like it.
matches that happened in February. and he's had all of this time.
Yeah, but
to
that also,
train.
But he's also been fighting for like 5 years. I mean,
yeah, and I
Right.
think Kamaru has also been training really hard.
Oh, yeah, he
and
has.
so if he's already good, I mean, it's just gonna escalate from there.
I think the key to that match is has Kamaru's striking improved to the point that it meets up with Hyder's takedown defense.
There you go.
I think that's going to be the game is takedown versus defending it
Yep.
and landing that punch.
I'm gonna go with Graves Vicente. I really don't know. I'm kind of with you. Like I don't know. Maybe I'll go with Graves since
Vince
you put up a
McMahon's
good-
gonna interrupt it.
Kamaru versus Hyder. I'm taking Kamaru.
Of course you are.
Oh, stop!
Of course you are.
What do you mean? Of course I am. I'll tell you why. I can back it up.
Here we go.
Go for it.
I do agree with you. I think that he's gonna, or was it you Jared?
What's that?
Yeah, it was you. Sorry. That he's gonna take him down. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Downtown.
I just realized that your
But that's the obvious
impersonation of
strategy,
Glenn reminds
so-
me of
Yeah.
Skeletor.
I do. I think I'll tell you this.
Very
it's
opposite of
probably
Quinn.
it's probably the second fight of the whole weekend that I'm looking forward to most. That I feel invested because we've been covering these guys
Yeah.
for 12 weeks,
Yeah.
which has been
completely agree.
amazing. So I mean, gosh, it's gonna be really good. I'll be texting all of you guys.
Yes,
while
please.
these fights are
I'm gonna
going
hop on my Harley and go
Not
to Vegas.
me. I'll be here
Having
live
a Bud
talking
Light?
about it the night
Oh
before.
my gosh,
way.
I can't believe our season's over, guys.
Tag 'em and bag 'em.
12 episodes.
Tag 'em and brag 'em.
Thank you all so much for
Make
joining us
coy.
all season. We've had an amazing time and breaking down every episode for you. Alexis Torres, where can people find you?
I mean, you can find me all over the social medias as
go.
ATorres890 because I'm the best and I just give a lot of heart and you just don't understand that the interwebs just mean a lot to me.
You have to do the same thing, Jack.
Hell no, I'm not doing that. I'm not following that. You kidding me? Not even trying.
Thank you.
But I will be here in a couple of days. We'll be covering the UFC. What is it? 189.
189,
AfterBuzz. AfterBuzz.
Wow,
Pay
look
per
at you.
view. McGregor and Mendes, Robbie Lawler, Rory McDonald, a whole bunch of other
So
guys.
many.
Then Wednesday night as well, special late night show covering the San Diego UFC Fight Night, and then back the following Sunday. Should have a full house, I believe, actually, by that point, with covering Michael covering the other fight night. Get out of here.
You can find me at Gilkerson Radio on Twitter, book, Instagram, all the other social media. With my friends beat ass in the gym. Coaches are there.
I'm sorry, what were you gonna do? You're gonna beat what?
I beat ass
There it
in
is.
my gym with my friends. My family's in my heart.
What will you be drinking?
Nos Light.
He needs it. He needs it right
It's like a
now.
Four
Oh
Loko.
God, I love you guys. It's so hilarious. You can find me on
Nos
Facebook,
Light.
Twitter, Instagram, and everything at Suri Serano. And you can also, of course, find us at AfterBuzzTV.com, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, everything. Thank you again for joining us all season.
Yeah.
Final words?
It was awesome. Bye.
Yes.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Blood.
Last light.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
When the lights go down and the sun comes up.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.